hello, beautiful, divine, wonderful, inspirational people. Thank you so much for joining me on K1 Radio. Can my next interviewee please say his name for the people?
Hey, my name's Antonio Duke.
And Mr. Duke, I'm going to ask you 10 rapid-fire questions before we start our basic interview. And my first one is, what is your favorite thing to eat?
My favorite thing to eat is bacon.
Yes. Is there a specific type of bacon or all bacon?
Well, I recently had oysters, and they had bacon on them, and I really enjoyed that.
Definitely have to try that.
Yeah.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Love it. What is a question you find yourself going back to more than others?
Why?
Me too. What is your favorite thing about you?
My favorite thing about me, I try to be generous. I like to think I'm a generous person.
Yum. What brings you joy?
What brings me joy? The ensemble.
Mm-hmm. When you see a person in need, what is your initial reaction?
How can I help?
When was the last time you danced?
Last night.
Yes. How do you explain your line of work to strangers?
I try to conjure spirits.
Love. Do you have a mantra you say to yourself?
Yes. A brilliant acting teacher named Ken Washington, when we were trying to figure out our characters, he would always say, "You know," and I try to remember that.
Yeah. What are you excited about?
I am excited about seeing. I'm excited about seeing snow. Just seeing how much snow we get.
Yum. I do love the good snows. All right, thank you so much for doing my rapid fire questions. Sorry for that pause. I was getting to the top of my questions.
No, it's all good. Thank you.
What inspires you when you wake up?
What inspires me when I wake up? Music. Usually, I usually need to listen to some music to try to get the energy going, I think.
Yes. Oh, I would like for you to send me 10 of your favorite songs if you don't mind. Or if you
Sure.
can just list them off, that would be dope.
Awesome. We'll do. List them off now or
No,
send them to
later.
you later?
Later.
Okay, great. Yeah.
What does your art mean to you?
My art is really a way for me to process a lot of different events, I think, in an artistic, metaphorical kind of way. And it's also just a way for me to just have joy and I think show a different side of myself via the characters. That kind of helps me understand the world.
What intrigues you about theater?
Human behavior, studying human behavior in extreme circumstances.
Interesting. Do you find psychology plays a huge part in it?
Yeah, before I was into theater, I wanted to be like a criminal profiler, just because I really like psychology and just how the brain works and the weird behaviors of people.
I love it. How long have you been acting?
I started at Washburn High School in a musical, Once on This Island, and that was in 2010, 2011. And then once I graduated, I started kind of getting small fundings and did black box theater for a bit, and you can just audition everywhere anyone would held auditions.
Love it. Does spirituality influence your art?
Hugely. It is a cornerstone. Specifically, Yoruba, Voodoo, Santeria. And when I write my own work, it's kind of woven into the fabric of the piece. Yeah.
Interesting. How do you go about editing your work?
That's a good question. If I keep getting feedback from multiple people on a certain moment, then chances are something needs to change. So I try to send my work out to as a diverse group of folks, and if certain things keep coming up, then I try to go about changing it. And also I write for a bit and then leave it alone for a long time, and then when I revisit it, I try to keep a fresh eye on it. And if something, as I'm rereading it, is jarring or something, then I'll try to figure out what's going on.
How long have you waited to release a project?
That's a good question. I mean, usually, to be honest, I always feel rushed, due to deadlines or something.
Yeah.
But usually sometimes I wait to the very last moment. So maybe a couple months or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to perform?
My favorite place to perform. I mean, the first place that comes to mind is Pillsbury House Theater, because that's kind of where it all began, in a sense, with an after-school program called Power of Our Voices. And that space is just so intimate, but also epic. I've seen so many epic performances there, and I know the caliber of performance that has happened in that space. So Pillsbury House Theater.
I love it. When the pandemic first started, did you dive into creating new work or reflecting on your old work?
I think I did a bit of both. I had 2 solo performance pieces that were remounted virtually. So I revisited those. And in revisiting it, I created new work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Is there an equation for making the perfect play?
There is not. There are helpful guidelines. There's certain structures that fit with certain people, that could help you create a form to find the freedom, but there is no set formula. It's just all guesswork.
When you're alone in your mind, where do you draw inspiration?
That's interesting. I try to see who else is doing what I'm trying to express. So inspiration can come from a painting of some other dope artist that it's that's the thing that I want to try to do. Or it could just come from a feeling of rage or joy or whatever. It could just be a scream or anything. Yeah.
When you start to convey emotion and you're drawing it from inside, do you have to create a happy medium and balance?
That would be the healthy thing to do, wouldn't it? Sometimes it would be the smart thing to do. A lot of the vast majority of my theater work deals with historical trauma. So a lot of the time when you're in the immersion of it all, you kind of just are there. But once you go home, you try to shake it off a bit. So I would say yes, you should.
What was your most memorable performance?
my most that I've witnessed or been in, or
both?
Oh, okay. My most memorable performance that I've witnessed. There are so many. Okay, I'm gonna say two. The first is a production at Pillsbury House Theater called The Brother Size, with Namir Smallwood, James Williams, and Gavin. I am thinking of pronouncing his last name right, Lawrence. Directed by Mary McClinton. That performance was breathtaking. And another one is complete opposite. I saw it in London when I was studying there. It's a comedy called The Play That Goes Wrong, and it was playing at the West End, and it was just so hilarious.
Love it.
Yeah.
Excellent. And your most memorable that you've performed?
Oh, yes. I went to the U of M Guthrie VFA Actor Training Program, and they had their first August Wilson rep. They did their first August Wilson play, and I went back to play a part in it.
Yes.
And I played a character called King Headley in Seven Guitars, and that was my most memorable, just because of what.
Oh, how epic! Ooh.
Yeah. What it meant. Yeah.
When you sit behind a monologue, what is the first emotion that comes to you, or the first thought that comes to you?
It depends on the monologue. Usually, I try to distill a monologue down to one word, not to simplify it, but just to have a clear thing of what I'm investigating, what the character's investigating, just to root it, so I can see where in my own life I identify with the character. Mm-hmm. I'm drawn to monologues or characters that have a lot of rage that they're dealing with. I don't know what that says about me, but I think rage is compelling, so that comes up a lot.
Love. I feel like rage would be one of the harder emotions to convey, just because it's so intense with its energy.
It is very intense, yeah.
And it's like a slow build. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I very much enjoy it.
You mentioned before that you have a circle of friends you show your new work to.
Mm-hmm.
When you first present your new ideas to them, where are you and what's the energy?
Well, to be honest, it's usually via email. I can just say, can I email you this thing? But once it goes past that stage, then it's usually in a rehearsal room, and you asked, what is the feeling?
Yes.
The
Are you
feeling
nervous? Are you excited?
Terrified. Absolutely, just utterly wanted and terrified, and like, why would I put myself in this position? Never again will I ever do this.
There's no way you can still feel fear with all these amazing things you've created.
Oh no, that doesn't even enter the mind. It's just terrifying. It's all terrifying. Mm-hmm. I actually was just having coffee a few weeks ago with a director friend of mine, and I was telling her, I think I just need to get used to being terrified, because it's just a constant thing. It's like, it's just the norm, and if you can get used to it, then it won't affect you as much, I think, hopefully.
I love that. My very last question for you is, if you had to explain how to write a play, how would you?
I would say, in the practical sense, I'm going to say a very artsy answer, and then I'm going to say a very practical answer.
Okay.
The artsy answer is to just get in a safe space, turn all the lights off, and try to walk in the darkness and figure it out. That's the first thing. And then the practical answer is to just list all of your ideas on a piece of paper. Just list them and try not to let your ego get in the way. Just list all of your ideas and keep listing your ideas, either for the title of the play, the title, or the names of characters, or plot ideas, or anything. Just start listing them, and then relist and relist. And if something keeps popping up, circle those, and try to use those things that keep popping up as the structure of your play.
Yum. Oh crap, I lied. I have one more question for you, and this is my last one, I promise.
No worries.
What song is the background track for Society right now?
For me, it'd probably be, from my point of view, it would probably be a Dave East song, because I'll be bumping Dave East. Or This Is America, one of those by Childish Gambino.
Cool. This is America. I love it. He's so amazing. I was just talking about Childish Gambino earlier. Such a talented man.
He is dope.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Duke. You're amazing.
Thank you.
You are one of the best Antonios I've ever known in my life.
Oh,
Don't ever change. Thank you so much for joining us on K1 Radio. This was Antonio Duke. Yo, Mr. Duke, plug yourself right now.
Oh, okay. I'm in a show right now at Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo, Minnesota, called Another Miracle on Christmas Lake. It's a hilarious comedy with some of the best actors I've worked with. It's now through January 2nd. And we perform Tuesday, believe it or not, through Sunday, 8 shows a week. Yes, come check it out.
Yeah, say the title one more time.
Another Miracle on Christmas Lake.
Yum. Follow him on social media, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you.